Hi guys, it's me, Monster of My Own Cookies. Now today I'm doing a very special video that I haven't done at all. Now, I'm doing a video on my corn snakes. Note how I said corn snakes, not corn snake. I have actually acquired a new corn snake who's just under the newspaper. That is a male corn snake, that's my female. Both of a similar age. And yeah, mites sometimes are spotted on the actual animals themselves. Now, the way that I found out was that when I was about to handle my animal, I couldn't help but notice some little dots moving about on the substrate. Now, that is a clear sign of mites. Another sign is less direct. The snakes themselves will actually bathe in the water more frequently than normal, which is their way of getting the mites off. However, that is not exactly a permanent solution because the mites will still be around the enclosure. So all I've had to do is I've had to take all the enrichment out that I could, such as this little rock-like wooden thing, the bark-like tree, which is actually a hide, as well as a climbing frame, basically. And I had to take out all the plastic plants and spray them down with the spray as well. However, some plants I couldn't actually take out because I had actually stuck them to the actual vivarium themselves. So I had to spray them inside the tank as well. After I took out all the other stuff and sprayed that down, I even had to spray on the inside of each and everything that has a inside compartment. The substrate I had to immediately dispose of. I placed it into a bin. Well, bin bag. Of a certain colour. Basically a black bin bag, not like a normal carrier bag. You can get certain coloured bin bags. But with this, once I'd done that, I actually sprayed the entire tank down with disinfectant, sprayed the mite spray as well around it, took the water dish out because mites will actually, or the snake will actually be drinking the water that has the spray in it, because the mites that actually make contact with the spray will be taking a dip in the water that has that on them, and the snakes will be drinking that. That's not really fair on the animal. So what I do is I take the animals out individually and bathe them for 20 minutes at least, individually. Bathing two of them at the same time possibly will prove to be more difficult than I wanted to be, because I'm focusing on one and wouldn't be able to focus on the other to make sure they didn't get out of the thing I was bathing them in. It also gives them more room as well to swim about, which is good. And they're drinking actual water as well, which is good. But what I'm saying is, mites are a very tricky parasite to get rid of. They're actually a type of parasitic insect. They are zoonotic, which means they are zoonotic and notifiable. They can travel through skin contact, or they can even jump, and that's what makes them formidable, because they can literally get anywhere they want. See, even if your vivarium is locked like this is, that's locked, it can still get through the little they can still get through the little gaps here. And if you are like me and you have another reptile, they can easily make their way to another enclosure, which is here. That's my willow python's enclosure. It does take a while to clean out the entire tank, but it's all worth it in the long run, because at the end of the day, the mites are affecting the animal's life. As long as you're looking after them, like treating them every couple of days or so, they should be fine. Mites don't live that long. They only live, I would personally say, a day. But don't quote me on that. Now, before they die, they lay their eggs. And when those eggs hatch, the cycle will continue again with mites. And they will die after they've laid eggs, and so on and so forth. So the important thing is to get this problem all sorted as soon as it can be. Now, I'm always spending time with my snakes, so I would guess that this was only a small amount of mites that they actually started off with, because I hadn't seen the little black dots before, or any dots really. So with any luck, when the babies hatch of the mites, they would quickly meet their demise. Because even though I like all animals, I've got to think about the animals that I own, the animals that I love, the animals that are my passion for doing what I do in my college course. And tell you the truth, I've had a lot of good memories with my female corn snake over the years. But what I'm trying to say is, if you come across the telltale signs such as the corn snake bathing excessively in the water, black dots moving on your animal, black dots moving around the enclosure, and in general, a change in your animal's behaviour, which I kind of said before, but everyone's snake has an individual personality, so just be wary of that. But look out for multiple signs, not just the one, which is what I've had to do. Because I've noticed when there's been mites in this tank, both my snakes have spent separate times apart in the enclosure itself. Normally they are actually joined at the hip, if you get what I mean, like they're always around one another. So the mites have actually affected their social behaviour, but there's no sign of aggression between any of them, which is good. No signs of irritation either on the skin, which would be another sign to look out for, because the mites would be feeding on the animal as well. So not exactly like a tick would, but that's a different parasite altogether. And an arachnid. Arachnids are actually stuff like your spiders and your scorpions and your witch scorpion, which isn't actually it is actually an arachnid. But this video itself is to dedicate awareness towards how to spot mites, how to treat the conditions. And I can't actually show you the spray because that would be advertising something, and I can't advertise a brand because that'd be against the rules basically and illegal. So I do actually have a thermometer, but as it has the brand on it, I can't actually show you where it is. I mean where specifically it is. But it's on the outside of my vivarium with the little probe on the inside of the enclosure. Now, I hope you guys have found this video as informative as possible, because that's the actual aim. This is my first experience with mites, and hopefully it'll be my last experience with mites. This is Monster signing off, over and out, and continue to enjoy and listen and watch many of mine and Cookie's previous videos and future videos.